All right, so I'm back. I thought I would show you. I just transferred my paint. I had some pretty decent amount of paint left on this. Which one was it? On one of these, on this plate. So I actually just used my 1/2-inch brush and scooped some of that paint onto a fresh plate, and I wipe it in a paper towel each time. Now this I'm going to get rid of because there's gobs of paint in here. But you can do that. You can just scoop your paint up and put it on a new palette, making sure you don't scoop up any dirty paint. This Cad Yellow Light has a tiny tinge of phthalo green in it here and there. So, but I know that in my mind, if I need a really clean Cad Yellow Light, I will squirt it out of my tube. And I didn't have any of my yellow orange left, so I'm going to put some fresh right on here. Of course, I have to always get this to squirt out. All right, and then I'm probably going to need some white. And sometimes I'll give myself a couple of piles of white, separate piles, because they get dirty real quick. And I think that's all I'm going to need. Oh, I need a mixing plate. All right, so what we're going to do now is so I'm kind of working from back to front. So I want to get this avocado done. I'm actually very happy with this avocado. I think I need to get, that's a little too warm. So I'm going to make this just a little bit, let me show you this one closer. I'm going to make this one just a little bit cooler by using less yellow orange in that mix. But again, this avocado is just a little bit darker and muted compared to this avocado, because this one is the center of attention. This one is my my main one. All right. There's all these little variable factors that I'm trying to keep in mind. And I know I figured that out from having done my study. These are just all little nuances that you put in, of thought that you put into paintings, you know. And I think that's the fun part. That's the using your brain kind of part. So, all right, I'm going to start with Cad Yellow Light. Tiny bit of white to this just to make it more opaque, so it'll cover. I think that's going to be too cool on its own. Put a tiny bit of this in there. And then I see it needs more white actually. So, and remember, you can get a really pretty yellow from using yellow orange and white, but that would still be, I think, too warm. And I actually noticed that it looks lighter right next to the shadow. So that's a nice trick you can do. A bit of a glob there. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that's really helping a lot. It's exactly what that needed. Now I'm going to get a little bit, change it up just a little bit. I'm going to do this area. So I'm just changing the color ever so slightly. Dry your brush and just soften that, and that is enough. Just trying to tweak this shadow in there a little bit. It's such a odd color. Sometimes it's really hard to figure out exactly what a color is and then also nail the value at the same time. Oh no, that's too gray and too green. But yet I do see some of that in there. I might regret that. That was too light. All right, let's get that back. So I'm just playing with little nuances here. Just have to make myself a brown. Made myself a brown. You know, and this, it almost looks like that. No, it's cooler. Let's get it cooler. Let's let it cool it with the blue. And then it's lighter than that, so I could lighten it and cool it with cad yellow light. And you just don't know until you actually lay it on there. Now, this might be too warm for right here. Getting there. And I'm almost getting to the point where with some of these I could actually use my 1/4" brush instead, perhaps. All right, I want just a slightly warmer shade right there. This actually looks like this is the color. I think I finally found it. Oh, I don't know how I got that there. Gotta lift that little mistake up. All right, so it is the tiny hint of a cool yellow right there. It shifts from warm yellow to cool yellow to green very quickly. So I want to get just a little stroke of that in here. So I'm kind of wetting it with this. This is just cad yellow, light, pretty much straight up, and then I'm going to make that avocado green. So that avocado green again is yellow, orange, and phthalo green. And then it's just a matter of finding the right value. And again, I just don't know until I actually put it right on there. And I'm working on changing that shape at the same time. So there's all these things to think about. My brush stroke, blending that just slightly. It's just ever so slightly lighter on the top. All right, then we're going to make that green just a little bolder. Little darker. So now I'm going to add a little blue. Which is going to give a nice vibration next to that warm, red violet. Because those are complements to the teal and the red violet. So I want some broken color in here. I don't want a continuous line, and I want to vary this just a little bit. It's a little too strong. Still going to outline it a little bit. So you know what, let's do that too. Let's make an outline color. So that's going to be phthalo, alizarin, and blue. Smushing in whatever I had. This might be a good color. It's not real vivid green, but it's nice and dark. broken. Don't make it a solid line. It's going to be a lot more interesting if you try and vary that too. This is a little too stitchy looking. Okay, I think we're just about there with that one, but there is a little bit of a hard line. A little bit too hard of a line going on over here. That's going to distract a little bit, so I want to soften that real quick while it's wet. So I need to mix up more of this. Well, maybe I can get away with using this. Just going to load my brush. There's barely enough for me to do this. All right, not as bold as I'd like, but pretty good. Pretty good. I think I need just one more bigger stroke of that whitish, you know, the yellow-orange with white, and I think that's going to really probably be done. So I'm going to make a nice clean white with yellow-orange. With my 1/2-inch brush, and I want one really nice bold stroke, getting it thoroughly mixed. Okay, 2 strokes. Okay, so that's probably it for that. All right, so now let's go to this avocado. Soften that just a little bit. You know what, I gotta do one more stroke in here to blend that, sorry. So I'm gonna take this, darken it a little bit, and mix it with some of this. Maybe a little lighter. Well, it is warmer. Actually, that's a really good color. It really looks like that color. Sometimes you realize that you nailed a color. So use that moment, right? Use that color. Soften this just a little bit. All right, yeah, that's looking really good. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Well, maybe, you know what? Let me see if I can replicate this color over here, because it's right here. And that one, yeah, look how much that's helping that. Yellow, orange, and white is magical for this painting. We're going to change this shape ever so slightly, right? More like this. It's a little lighter over here. All right, let's get this rounded, more rounded shape in here, so that is going to be slightly greenish, which I have here, but I need a little bit more of it. So yellow orange, tiny bit of green, more yellow orange. This might be it. Again, I don't know if it's it until I actually lay it on here. And it's too thin. So I need to put a thicker layer of it on there. And I'm going to add a little white to it. Just changing up this shape a little bit. That is helping a lot. I think I made this too big on the side here. It's kind of hard painting the dimension on the side. This is not good. There's like a hole here in that shadow. All right, so now let's try and get an in-between value. I'm getting some of this. Getting that I had over there, mixing this into a lighter value. Down here it's kind of subtle. And over here it's almost all reflection, all like the shine of the light. And over here I see more yellow for some reason, more cool yellow. Oh. That might have been too much, but it makes it interesting. Get some of that off of there. All right. So my green's a little bit darker over here, and that might be a little too wet for me to do a whole lot with, so I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and get just a little bit of outlining in, and then I'm probably going to have to do one more video because we're getting a little long on this one. I try to keep these videos, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, but I don't seem to always be able to do that. All right, so for an outline-y color on this one, I'm going to be more vivid blue-green so that it stands out more. So I'm mixing all my dark colors, mostly phthalo, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and a tiny bit of alizarin. And I just want to see, yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm just testing it out. It's a little tacky, this color. Sometimes you have to add a little water. Oh, I added some alizarin and I made it way too purple. So maybe I'll use that down here. trying to cover up that goofy thing. I'm going to use this same color to reinforce this outline. I'm going to put just a bit of it over here just for harmony. So I tried fixing this out. I can come back in with purple real easily to fix that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So I think I can use a more vivid green, and I'm really just about done. I think I just need one more video, you guys. So I don't want to rush and ruin this. So I'll see you on one last video.